June 22nd, 2013. I'm going to talk about stuff that happens after midnight. There was I want to say there was a series back in the 70s called the Night Stalker. And I thought it was pretty good, but after looking it up, it was only played for one season. They did have a movie which led into, came out in 71, called Night Stalker, and then there was 73 was The Night Strangler, and then in 73, 74 is when they had this series. It was a series in 70, and it's about a newspaper reporter, Kolchak was his name, Karl Kolchak, and he would investigate these different scenarios, serial killers, missing people, kind of a mystery, trying to figure out what's going on, and he'd pry and get himself into trouble and get out at the nick of time. And it was, I think the original one was, it took place in Seattle. That was very interesting. The movie that won in 71, they talked about it. And I remember it because it showed like the underground of Seattle there. Seattle has this underground city, and I always thought that was fascinating. I never got to see it when we was living there, because they give tours to where they built a city on top of the city, and the old buildings and stuff are still underground there, which is, I think, is amazing that it's still there. But it's not like today; they just tear it down and build new. But I really liked it because it's just I like the strange and macabre and mysterious. They're just kind of talking about how it kind of led into the modern day X-Files, kind of a search and mystery type thing. But that's kind of stretching it. But it was very, very popular, at least for me, to watch it But I thought it'll last a lot longer than a year. And on that topic, I just remember, because now it's summertime and kids are out of school, and I remember summers being real bored, and us kids would just kind of hang out. I'm trying to remember if they really had a curfew there in Yukon. I think it was, they used to always have this thing that come on at 10 o'clock, right before the news come on, is like, do you know where your children are? And so it's just a good idea to bring them in. The neighborhood would get very quiet after 10 o'clock. They'd kind of clear everybody out of the neighborhoods and make sure everybody is home inside. And except for us that kind of venture out. So after like midnight, we'd always sneak out and kind of wander the streets, because it's quiet and deserted. It was interesting that you could walk around, because it'd be so quiet that you could hear a car coming. You could see the lights off in the distance, because Yukon had these streets real long, so you could see lights turn the corner and come, or hear a car coming around the next block, and would scatter off into the bushes and the shadows of the night, and wait for the car to pass, and then venture on. I was thinking the other day, because we used to go, and this is not pleasant thing to talk about, but we did. We was young kids who would go snooping through people's cars. Never really stole like radios or anything like that. That was beyond me. That was more get in trouble for that stuff. But just picking up change out of people's cars. And I remember some of the good music that I listened to. Picked out of some cassettes, radio tracks. we're going to say cassettes. 8 tracks really go back ways. But I remember a few good groups got turned on to by picking them up out of people's cars. So that's usually how it goes. Now my stuff gets swiped out of my car. It makes a full circle. But just talking about that show from the 70s, I remember it well, and still can see Carl Kochek being harassed by his editor there. What was his Concenza? Funny series, because they had a little humor, on the dark side. But that's usually how it goes. I'm going to play a song, kind of looking, I got a concert coming up on the 14th next month, in July, Alice Cooper. And one of his albums that were popular in 75 was Welcome to My Nightmare. He did tour here, I want to say 2011. Because he re-released it, and it was like Welcome to My Nightmare 2. So he re-released it and toured. So a lot of the information I'm pulling up is from that last year, 2011, 2012. And he's going to be hitting the roads here. I thought he played recently. Because, what I do is I pull up these, and once the band starts touring, there's a spot that you can pull up songs that they did in concerts on the set list. And last few concerts, I've always prepared myself on what they're playing. That one Soundgarden was difficult because they kept changing it up. I'd make a set list and burn it onto a CD so I could listen to it on the way to work and back. And I kept changing it, so I had to keep adding songs. And I had three CDs because they kept adding songs, and changing the set list. Looks like the Black Sabbath one. The one, because they did some concerts in Australia and New Zealand, and set list kind of stayed pretty much the same. So I'm going on that, but they're going to be hitting here. I'm going to say late July. So by the time they come through in the middle of August, I'll have a set list ready for them. But I think, like Alice Cooper here, has, I think he played in, I don't say, because this tour started in Texas. I think he did play. But looking at last year's, it's hard to go by last year's set list because they changed things up. So to get the new list and to gather the songs, because I haven't really listened to him in many years. Again, over 30 plus years. I did see him, Alice Cooper, in Oklahoma when we lived down there. I remember Mike Busby was a good friend, so we went and seen him. And I remember even seeing Kent Romeyer there, but seen him in Washington State. I think I went down to Portland actually and seen him there. So that's 80, so late 70s, and then mid 80s there, 85, 86. Moved back. So it's been a few years since I've seen Alice Cooper, so I'm interested in seeing him one last time. I think even the folks said that, God, he's still touring. It's like, yeah, they do. It's like all these groups are making their last hooray. Do it do it before, while you can. But yeah, he's still kicking it out. So here's one. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. Very popular for me. Really hard rock, but pretty good. June 22nd, 2013. Spooky.